And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Well, not much change here on the breakup graphic here from what we saw the last couple of days, with all the rivers south of the Brooks Range here open essentially, and the northern slope rivers are still iced up, so still waiting for something to start breaking up on those rivers there. And for the hazardous weather, we've got a coastal flood advisory out here for the Kuskokwim Delta coast until 9 p.m. this evening for possible minor beach erosion occurring with tides as high, water levels 2.5 feet above normal high tide levels there, again till about 9 p.m. And then up here in the eastern Alaska range, a wind advisory out for this evening for winds gusting to 50 miles per hour out of the south. And from there, looking at fire danger for spruce, Yukon Flats here showing some very high fire danger there, and also in the central interior here, north of the Alaska Range, and a little bit here along the north side of the eastern Alaska Range, but south of the mountains, all in the low category, as well as areas out here to the west. And satellite imagery showing front bringing some areas of light snow down to the Arctic coast, mainly the central and eastern Arctic coast there. Nothing very significant at all as far as precipitation goes. And then this system a lot stronger here with the low center rolling this through again right in this area here, with the clouds to the south here moving to the east, and the front and the band of clouds lifting northward here, bringing winds anywhere from 50 to 60 miles an hour to the Alaska Peninsula, and up to 40 miles an hour or so, with about an inch of rain falling at Kodiak State Airport today, and some pretty good rainfall into southern Cook Inlet, as well as up in toward western Prince William Sound today, with some gusty winds, definitely cloudy skies, areas of light precipitation extending back to the west there, and started out partly to mostly sunny throughout the morning hours here in the central interior, and then some clouds developing, cumulus clouds as the air mass warmed up, some areas reaching into the lower 70s, upper 60s and lower 70s up here through the central interior today, and clouds on the increase here over the southeast coast. Still some showers around. There was a pretty showery day around Petersburg, for example, but other locations a lot drier than what you've seen here, especially for the last week. And for forecast for tonight, look for the rain chances to increase here along the west coast, or actually the north coast of the Panhandle as that front pushes eastward. Rain and breezy winds for the North Gulf Coast into south central Alaska, the front extending back up across the southwest interior, bringing areas of rain and showers to the entire area there. And mostly dry north of the Alaska Range, some isolated shower activity this evening, all the way up to the Brooks Range there, with the remnants of that moisture we saw dropping southward, kind of hanging up in the mountains there. But again, amounts will be very light. Another trough kicks the winds back up to the Alaska Peninsula there. Keeps it pretty windy tonight with periods of rain. And wet weather extending all the way back to Adak and Atka. This front pushing moisture north, almost to St. Lawrence Island. Should get into St. Lawrence Island sometime tonight. At least there'll be some light precipitation there later on. And for the forecast for tomorrow, a trough here through the north central part of the state will kick off some showers up in this area. North slope on out to the Arctic coast, dry with partly to mostly clear skies there for the Arctic coast and areas. And for the Panhandle, that front washes out here actually along the North Gulf Coast. Still looking at south to north flow here, kind of carrying surges of moisture northward into the Prince William Sound area, south central Alaska. A good chance of some measurable rain across just about all of the southwest interior into the Kuskokwim Valley areas, and staying dry over the central and southern southeast coast, but occasional light rain and showers to the north. And this next system pushing northward there probably will move in, bring some more light rain into the southern Panhandle Monday night. And out to the west, high pressure, not much going on. High pressure centered way out there to the west. Keeps it dry and with light winds for much of the Bering Sea and the Aleutians. And then for the day on Tuesday, That system that was off the south coast here moves through and is gone, leaving some dry weather, higher pressure building in. Could see a few sunbreaks over the central and southern southeast coast and a few showers to the north with areas of rain here. Again, south to north flow bringing surges of moisture northward to the North Gulf Coast across all the southwest interior. Showers up here in the central part of the state, but dry from the Brooks Range out to the Arctic coast there, with maybe some clearing as well, along with some low clouds and fog possible there along the central and eastern coastline. Otherwise, just scattered isolated showers here with this low lifting into the Yukon Delta. That'll bring, again, extensive area of light precipitation there to the southwest part of the state. And out to the west, high pressure keeps winds light and conditions dry for the Aleutians and all of the Bering Sea, at least the central and western areas. Warm front here with the next system tracks northeastward, bringing another round of rain and wind into the North Gulf Coast mainly. So this one tracking up farther to the east than the previous one has. And so look for wind and rain to increase during the day. Looks pretty wet across all of southern Alaska there. More showery conditions over the Bristol Bay area into the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta with this weak trough. And a trough keeps it mostly cloudy and occasionally wet in the interior with the southern panhandle staying dry under higher pressure. And moving on to lows for tonight in the upper teens and lower 20s. North Slope and Arctic coast, otherwise 30s and 40s for the remainder of the state. Highs for tomorrow, lower to mid 60s, central interior, and upper 20s to near 30, 31 or 2 for the North Slope and Arctic coast. In the 50s here across the southern part of the state, 40s for the Alaska Peninsula, Aleutians, Pribilof Islands. Lows about the same for Tuesday morning here. Teens lower 20s, Arctic coast North Slope, upper 30s and 40s for the remainder of the interior, all the way down to the North Gulf Coast, mid 40s for the Panhandle, upper 30s for the Aleutians, mid 30s for the Pribilofs. And for the highs Tuesday afternoon, mid 60s there around the Yukon Flats, near 70 for Eagle, otherwise upper 50s and lower 60s in the central part of the state. And right around 50 for Nome, then 35 for St. Lawrence Island. Highs in the 50s, southern Alaska, upper 50s to near 60 in the Copper River Basin. And finally, some lower 60s showing up over the southern Panhandle.